Welcome back. Well, one local author brings us a story of a mother torn apart from her baby and how reuniting with her son later in life brings out conflict with the life she has made for herself.
Author Paul Grigsby is here to talk more about Of One Womb, the Essence of Two Families. Paul, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So let's actually kind of start with you, the author, and kind of your background. Where are you from?
Tulsa, Oklahoma. I knew Guy Ashley.
Oh. Wow, what a small world.
I know.
Yeah.
So then, is this your first book, Paul?
Yes, it is.
And so what inspired you to kind of write a book? I mean, it's a big undertaking.
Well, after I retired from the Air Force and IBM, I looked around for something to do, and I started teaching, and that inspired me to write.
And so tell us kind of the storyline in the book itself.
Well, it follows Dorothy Walker, who marries her high school sweetheart, who turns out to be not such a good guy. So they divorce, and his parents take their child to raise, and they eliminate Dorothy from the scene. Anyway, to save her sanity, she goes to Los Angeles, to Carson, really, and she starts a new life. She meets Jesse Barnes, they became friends. And out of that friendship became a love, and they got married and had 2 children. And 25 years later, James Lee came back on the scene saying, "I want to visit." When she meets him, well, he sends a letter first, and his letter is racist. So she has to determine how is she going to intermingle her family and him, which she still loves.
Yes. Well, it sounds like a very compelling story.
It's fantastic.
And it kind of goes through different places, doesn't it? And do those places have like a special connection to you?
Well, yeah. My parents were born in Homer, Louisiana, and that's where the story starts. Homer and Minden, Louisiana. They're akin to each other. And then my brother, he lived in Carson, California, and I got familiar with that city, and I liked it. And I just kind of weaved it in there.
Okay. Was there any other parts of this story that were personal, or is this all other than the places?
Well, there are some of the characters have my family's names, but they're not by any means my family, my brother or sister. My friends, you know, their names are there, but they're not the characters that's portrayed in the book.
Well, I love when an author kind of utilizes little personal touches in their stories, and it sounds like that's what you've done.
Yes, I have.
Just so subtly, and I love that. Now, Paul, do you have any other books kind of in the works for the future?
As a matter of fact, I do. I am completing now, getting edited and looked at my book called Sophie's Boys. It's about slavery. It's 2 escaped slaves. One was born by 2 blacks, and one was born by the massa and the black woman. And they journey here to Arizona and live for a short time where Huachuca is. But Huachuca decided that they wanted to use that for an army base, so they moved further east. And they were there until they decided to go back and get their mother and bring her out.
Well, Paul, I have to tell you, it sounds like, just from talking to you, that you're a wonderful story writer. We're definitely going to make sure our viewers know where to get your books and where they can get more information on you yourself.
Well, the books can be gotten from iUniverse, or electronic versions you can get through Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
Perfect. Well, Paul, I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning.
It is my pleasure.
And to learn more about Paul Grigsby and his work, you can just send him an email to grigsby.paul@yahoo.com. And like he said, you can get his books through iUniverse.com, Barnes & Noble, and Amazon.com.